of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Eat and Critique Show with restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia. Brought to you by one of Steve-O and Sophia's favorite Incontro Italian cuisine and steakhouse located on the Walk in Coral Springs. Now, sit back while award-winning restaurant critics Steve-O and Sophia share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly in South Florida dining.
Welcome to another Eat and Critique.
My
Happy
puppet.
St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day.
You're with Steve-O and Sophia.
You got your green on.
Do you see
I
my
don't.
shamrocks on my eyes?
I don't even own anything green.
Yeah, well,
Rebel, are you wearing green?
Rebel, wasn't there something last year that that we had from St. Patrick's Day last year? I think I sent you a picture. You show everybody our St. Patrick's Day from last
Yes, I am wearing green, and I am working on that. I just trying to get on it.
So I have a joke.
Okay.
Why can't you borrow money from a leprechaun?
Why?
Because they're always a little short.
Oh, Sophia, you got to stop reading A Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, I admit that's pretty
nursery
funny.
schools.
That's pretty funny.
Okay.
It actually came from a little kid's school.
Yeah. I believe that.
They told me that today. Anyway, welcome to another show. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Wow, this is like one of the, what is it? Oh my God. That is, I told her no St. Patrick stuff this year.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
you did, and you
have to-
texted Rebel behind my back.
Yeah, to admit that was pretty funny.
I knew you were up to something. Thank God the people listening on iHeart can't see that. Okay, Rebel. You made your point.
They could go to YouTube.
You made your point, Rebel.
Last year, St. Patrick's Day.
Well, if you're tuning in for the first time, we are restaurant critics. This show has been running for about 15 years now. And we go out and we find new restaurants. We find restaurants that aren't so good. We understand that you work hard for your money. There's so many restaurants to go to. And, you know, we talk about all the restaurants that are closing up. My God, there's a lot of new restaurants opening up.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, a very quick story. So Sophia and I found a sushi restaurant really close to our area. But it looked like crap on the outside. It looked like a haunted house.
I was afraid to go in, if you remember,
Yeah.
because it was painted black. The outside was black, and it just looked dirty. It
looked creepy.
It was very creepy. And the inside, the walls were all black, but they had the Asian paintings, which brightened it up. But you have to admit, it was kind of scary.
Yeah, well, it shows we have the kahunas to go in there. And so we went, and I got to tell you, we were blown away.
It was the best.
It
sushi.
was some of the best sushi I've ever had.
The edamame was hot and fresh.
Yes.
It was fresh. When have you ever had edamame like
Now,
that?
of course, we were the only ones in there.
No, we
And they had to wake up the chef.
No.
There wasn't anybody.
Yes, there were. If you looked in the bar.
Oh, I
there
didn't
were.
look in the bar.
And there was 2 tables in back of us.
So we were so excited. We found this great restaurant. And I went back there the next day because I really wanted to get him on the show. And there's a sign.
Well, I kind of warned you because I had told
You
some
did.
of our neighbors and they called and the phone was out of
But
order.
I had known that though.
But I told you before
Afterwards, you told me after I told you there's a sign up there.
Mhm.
So and one of the things that we both said was, there's demographics in an area of town, and the demographics for this area of town does not promote a sushi restaurant. It's really low end. It's not even low to low middle. It's low end.
No, it's middle class to low.
That is not middle class, Sophia.
It is. It's Palm Springs, Florida. That
Listen,
is the middle class.
when you see foil on someone's window,
That's further down. That's where the restaurant was. Is definitely a
Well, that's
middle
what I'm saying.
class, not a
no,
low.
yeah, but not the. I mean, yeah, but that area is. Oh my God, She already owes me apologies
No,
from
I know.
the stock market. That's a. So there's a handwritten sign. We are temporarily closed. And listen, I know everybody is like had a craving for something.
I wanted to go back.
And we were so craving to go back. And here's the sign. I felt like the Griswolds when they got to Wally World and they traveled all this way to find out they were closed for the season. So I came back the next, and one of the things Sophia said, they gotta at least paint the place. I come back the next day, the painters are out there. They're painting the building white.
Just like I said.
And I'm going, Sophia whispering something in their ear. And I walked in and I had to wait to see the owner. Comes to find out they didn't make it. How long were they there for, Sophia?
Not long, but the sad part is anybody that lives in Broward County knows Sushi Song. They
Yes.
are very good and they're all over Broward. But the location they chose for Palm Beach just wasn't the right
For a
location.
sushi restaurant.
Right.
Right. Which was really sad.
But why did they paint it black? I mean,
Well, he didn't do it. I don't know.
It wasn't black before.
So they painted
They
it?
painted it black.
Ooh.
So it is a predominantly Latin area. And sushi, just 10th Avenue North, it's just not the right location for a sushi restaurant.
Well, the good news is I met the owner. He owns two other restaurants, kind of a Latin Colombian cuisine, which should work really well in that area. And I think they're going to do well because it's a fairly large restaurant. They've got a bar. They're going to have entertainment on the weekends.
They have the outdoors.
They have outdoors. And we are going to be doing a tasting there the first week in April.
And Chef Song is still part of the restaurant.
Yes. He's still part owner. So it just shows you that things change so fast in the restaurant industry. And you know how we always are. We feel bad when a restaurant closes up, but it's so strange. It's a lot of it has to do with the economy. A lot of it has to do with pandemic. People never really came through from the pandemic. But there's so many new restaurants opening up. And we're going to talk about a couple restaurants tonight. Listen, I'm from Texas, so I love barbecue. Sophia loves barbecue. I mean, if you asked her favorite cuisine, it would not be barbecue.
No,
Would it? It wouldn't even be second or third, would it?
no.
Okay. Okay, don't get into it too much.
I don't have a favorite cuisine, really.
You don't?
I have cravings.
Okay, that's true.
So if you're craving sushi, I wanted to go to Sushi Song,
Speaking of
not
cravings,
Sushi Joe.
you know what? Something we didn't even plan, and I got to say this. There is a restaurant, and your guys are probably, you might laugh because there's so many great upscale steak restaurants in South Florida. There's a lot of really fine steak. We did a whole show one time on steak restaurants. But Sophia turned me on to a restaurant, and it's a chain, right? It is a chain. Yeah. It's called Texas Roadhouse. Now, from the outside, you'd probably go, yeah. It's looks like a kicker place. But that's the theme of the restaurant.
It looks like a ranch.
So we were having a barbecue, and Sophia said, actually, it was probably Margaret, because she's head of the menu. She wanted chili without beans, right?
Right. No, chili with beans.
Chili with beans. Okay. So it turned out this Roadhouse has chili with beans. So I got it. I went there to go. They have their own to-go area there. I mean, almost separate from the restaurant. And I was blown away. It took me 15 minutes to find a parking space. And it's a big parking lot. And I'm like, wow, I felt like I was at, what's the seafood, Red Lobster or something. So I go, and everything was like utensils. They even put roasted
the
peanuts. Yeah.
The bags.
Yeah. So the other night I had a craving for this place. I said,
you had a craving for steak.
Steak.
And I told you Margaret and I had gone there.
Yes, and it was good.
And it was not bad.
See, I never get the stories right.
No, you don't.
So Sophie and I went there, and we couldn't find a parking space.
No, it was packed.
And once we got there, it was about a 20 or 30-minute wait.
30 minutes.
So that alone tells you how good the place is. I thought the prices were going to be like kind of discount. They weren't.
No.
They weren't. But it was so, the atmosphere, the music. I mean, if you're having a birthday party, they go crazy at birthday parties. But talking about the menu, we had the potato skins.
Wow.
I got to tell you, it was the best potato skins I've ever had. They were that good. And I've had potato skins in a lot of places. I mean, they use real bacon. They pile the cheddar cheese on there. And they have that real nice, crisp taste to it.
Yeah, they had bacon.
Maybe we should go there
bacon.
tonight to watch the game.
That'd be kind of hard. We could, but the TVs they're not like in your face, you know? I don't know. Maybe we could.
So I was like pleasantly surprised. And then we both I got a salad. Did you get a salad? I got the Caesar salad. It was spectacular. They make their own dressing. And then the steak, and I looked at the prices, and I was like, kind of high for a chain, but they're okay. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my God, this place is so expensive. They're not expensive. think you can get a good steak for about $25.
Mhm.
So we got the
I got a sirloin.
Sirloin.
You
I got a sirloin too.
got the other.
And I got the smallest one because I don't have the appetite I used to. First of all, the service was incredible.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, and they put the roasted peanuts on the table.
You can't. It was sad because they used to bring them in bowls and you could throw the shells everywhere, and it's against the health
That was
department.
And then they brought out rolls to us,
Mhm.
hot rolls,
Honey butter.
the honey butter, delicious. I thought for sure the steak was going to be fatty, gritty. It was one of the best steaks I've ever had. Not the, I mean,
Right.
it wouldn't
For
be
that-
my top
for
10,
that type of restaurant.
but it's like, wow, what a great meal.
They're grilled too. You could taste
Yeah.
the grill on them.
Yeah. It's called Texas Roadhouse. And first of all, they don't take reservations unless you have a party of 8. Because I try to make reservations for us, and the recording says party of 8. What if we come in
This way.
4 different times? But they're all over South Florida, and we went to the one in Boynton. But I got to tell you something. If you want to, and by the way, it comes with 2 sides too. And I got a baked potato. We must say, because we always tell the truth, Sophia's, I don't know how this happened. My baked potato is perfect. Sophia's was not fully cooked. I don't know how that
It
happened.
was a little chunky. Some people
I
like
know.
it that way. I like mine soft.
Yeah, exactly. But what a great
The
experience.
Potato skins were good.
Oh,
Wow.
the potato skins were amazing.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for take the family out and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg and you want to impress, hey, we're going to go to a steak restaurant. The steak was juicy. It wasn't dry at all. It was cooked perfect. Of course, that's one of the things we look at. In fact, on the menu, it tells you if you order medium, how their medium comes out, medium rare.
The waitress brings you a picture
Yeah.
to show you when you're ordering. But remember, they had the showcase with the steaks, the different steaks and cuts. And
You know what? You remind me of something. So there's a steak place in the casino, Seminole Casino. It's called NYY Steak, named after the New York Yankees. And when you come in, they got this big window that shows you the cuts of meat and how fresh it is. They had the same thing when you walk in to Texas Roadhouse. Oh. Say yes, so I know your mouth is working okay.
funny in the beginning. I told you my joke.
Oh, you're upset that, wait a minute, you're upset that I didn't laugh my head off at your
You
joke?
did.
I can laugh now.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway, it's a great place to go have a steak. And I know that they're everywhere in South Florida.
I think they are. I don't know. I just know that one's by the Boynton Beach Mall. Let me look.
So we're going to talk tonight about, I'm glad you're looking that up. We're going to talk tonight about several restaurants, and you're going to hear our complete honesty. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, there's 3 of them in Palm Beach.
They have 3 in Palm Beach?
And one is Boynton.
Yes, which we went to.
One's in Wellington, and one is the North Palm Beach area, kind of looks like. Yeah, North Palm area. north, so like around the gardens.
Oh, but Boynton's
Um,
probably closer to us.
Oh, and then there's one in Boca on Lyons Road.
Okay.
And then there's,
So tonight we're going to talk about a barbecue restaurant that we went to. And we're going to kind of take you backstage, kind of something to share with you that you probably don't hear from other restaurant critics. So we had seen that this tropical barbecue, is that considered West Palm Beach?
it's
In West Palm Beach.
called Tropical Smokehouse.
And
Dixie.
I got to tell you, they have won a lot of awards.
They were in Southern Magazine. They were ranked as the top barbecue for Southern Magazine.
And there was a little bit of a wait. We went at around dinner time. Well, of course, a place that's won as many awards as they have, probably, people hear about it, want to go to it. So we go there, and
Well, let's go back about the chef that is the owner. That's the question I had was, how do you win these awards? Like, who actually critiques the restaurant? Who puts the articles in the magazines? I just have questions about that. Because this chef actually was the chef in Palm Beach.
yes, at one of the finest French restaurants in Palm Beach.
Yes.
Daniel Boulud.
Mhm. And they just said he won the James Beard Award.
Did he won the James Beard, or he was nominated?
I saw somewhere that he won, which I didn't know. So let me look. Okay. He's a semifinalist,
Okay.
2023, Rick Mace. Chef Rick Mace was the semifinalist. And then he was nominated for Best Chef in the South for Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Puerto Rico. So I don't know if this is my question. Like, is it because he was the semifinalist that they won the awards
No.
for the
It has-
Southern Magazine and all of that?
It doesn't have anything to do with what, and the reason why I kept asking Sophia, did he win it or was nominated? Because there's a lot of people who tout themselves as James Beard, but most of them were nominated, which is still a big deal.
He was semifinalist,
But they didn't win. I mean,
semifinalist is still pretty good.
oh no, yes, it is.
Mhm.
But like, there's a restaurant in Palm Beach. Actually, there's 3 or 4 that
They were all nominated.
he was nominated. He didn't win.
Right.
Actually, he was second runner up. Not,
I know which one.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
I do.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a great, prestigious award, but how do you go from French cuisine
To a
to
barbecue.
barbecue?
But the other thing is, it wasn't like a real barbecue. They called it tropical because they said it had the Florida flair to it. Remember, they had the plantains and things like that.
Right.
So I pulled up the menu.
And so did I.
I'll be honest. I think you liked it more than I did. And I did bring it home. Margaret tried it. We've had better ribs than that elsewhere. That's why
I didn't
I'm
try the
asking.
ribs, Sophia, and for some reason, I saw the ribs coming in, and they didn't look like
Yeah.
the kind of like, I love the ribs at Mississippi Sweets,
And
where the meat just falls off the bone.
I loved them at Austin Republic. It was the
Right.
same.
Yes.
Yeah. These.
But you ordered the ribs, right?
Because he was trying to, that was the other weird thing. He was trying to get me to try the burger. And I'm like, but we're in a barbecue. Why do I want a burger?
And the table next to us, he did get the burger, and he was telling us how great the burger is there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not why you go to a barbecue restaurant. So you were right.
But the ribs didn't have much taste to them. And the barbecue sauce was good. They make it there. But I just wasn't thrilled about the barbecue ribs.
So they do I'm going to go over some of the sides. They do cornbread. They do shredded kale. They do broccoli salad, sweet plantains. They do collard greens, and we notice a lot of the people ordering their white cheddar mac and cheese. They also do a smoky black beans. Now, I got to tell you, I hope this is not a new concept that's going to be started, because this is the second restaurant that we have gone to that you basically have, if you order tea, you got to go up and get your own tea, and you got to go up and get your own utensils
And barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce. I mean, they really don't have servers there.
No.
Except for someone who brings the food out to you.
Right. And you order up front, remember? And then
it's another. And then, of course, I was really upset because, and we're starting to see restaurants do this, they didn't accept cash, right? Yeah. You had to have a credit card. And I didn't see one sign at all saying that. So it was a little embarrassing for me because I didn't have my credit card with me. So I was really upset. I got to tell you, I was really upset about that. I talked about the sides.
This is why they're called tropical, because they had the tropical flair to the restaurant, like the snacks, the appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go?
Go ahead.
Well, they're more like a Spanish kind of style. They have brisket empanada, and the spicy wahoo dip, hot and sweet hush puppies. And then they had the chorizo queso. So it has more of like the Latin flair since we're in South Florida, and they have smoked chicken drumsticks. So they try to make it, and I guess that's why they call it tropical smokehouse.
Right.
Did you talk about the rice bowls?
Yes. No, I didn't. No, I just did the sides. So, and they're real big on combo plates. And one of the reasons I personally like beef ribs, and they don't do beef, they only do pork. Mm-hmm. I ordered the prime brisket sandwich, the chopped prime brisket. It was good. I got to say the sandwich was good. But you know what? I don't even think I said this to you, but when you have to go up and get your own drinks, and you find out that you've got to have a credit card, and I don't know. It was just too much for me. It's like, I wasn't happy. And we met one of the owners. Which we're going to get into. I don't even know if Sophia knew I was going to want. They do a quarter chicken. I'm sure it's barbecued. And they do a mojo pulled pork. It's a very lean menu.
I don't know if their chicken was barbecued, to be
Really?
honest.
Why do you say that?
Because I saw somebody eating it, and it looked like it was just, I don't know. I'm not going to say
did it look
anything.
like it was just roasted?
But
Well,
what do I know? Because I didn't taste it, so it could have been.
Well, they do a smoked mahi.
They have that barbecue salmon.
Yes,
right?
they do a barbecue salmon. That's the only reason I thought the chicken is barbecue also. And they do a Cajun gator sausage. We should send that to Rebel.
Rebel.
You're going to get a Cajun gator sausage. What do you think that means, Rebel?
Cajun gator.
It says Cajun gator sausage.
It's alligator seasoned with Cajun seasonings.
Poor baby
Oh.
gators.
It's a good thing they didn't tell you that.
Oh, well, I know I had the plantains and they were very mushy. I don't know. I know they're supposed to be soft, but these tasted a little greasy and mushy to me.
They also do a mojo pulled pork. You can get a prime brisket. I had the sandwich. They do a chopped brisket sandwich. They do a crispy fish sandwich.
Which the guy at the bar said was delicious.
Yeah. And they do an old-fashioned hamburger. The fries look pretty good too. We didn't get the fries.
Mm-mm.
But again, I go back to, if we want more iced tea, we got to get up and get. And I was like, do you tip the server? I mean, because we really didn't have a server. It was like, God, I had to do all this thinking. When I go out to eat, I want them to do everything for me.
I did it for you. I got up and got.
I know you did, but I didn't want you to do it either, though. So they do a kale and broccoli. You didn't do the kale broccoli rice, did you?
No, I did the plantains and ribs.
They also, for those who like to do a salad, they do a Caesar salad. So, and then you talked about the snacks, like the spicy wahoo dip. We didn't try these, but I got to tell you, one of the reasons why, which is going to lead up to our story.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked to one of the owners, and we said, we'd like to bring you on our show. So in order for them to come on our show, Sophie and I go in and do what's called a tasting. And we let them bring out all their dishes. And
or what they want to.
Yeah, what they want on the show. And I got to tell you, so we just went in there to eat just to get a sample of the restaurant, but we knew we were coming back and we were going to be tasting everything so that we could share it with you.
Well, they did schedule it.
You scheduled it.
Right.
Sophia contacted them, set up a day and time.
Based on their date and time.
Yeah, they're the ones who suggested the date and time. And I'm not embarrassed to say this. I think it reflects on the restaurant more than it reflects on us. There were no show. They didn't show. And I was really upset. And I normally don't get upset about small things, but I really upset that Sophia spent so much time on this and getting it set up. And here we are giving them free advertising. And the guy was a no-show. Mm-hmm. So to me, that really reflects on ownership. Not a good sign. And, if you want to go try it, go try it. There's a lot of barbecue restaurants now in Palm Beach County. A lot.
There's always a really long line to get into that restaurant, too.
Yeah, well,
I think because of the chef being where he was and everybody knew who he was.
That could be. I mean, I'm blown away. A French cuisine cook going, that's like in Louisiana being at a real fine French restaurant and going to work for Domino's afterwards.
Or the Gator Shacks.
Sorry, Rebel.
Gator Shack.
So that was, did you see what she just did?
No.
That was a gig at me. She
What?
put my picture up with that. Look at that silly green hat. Okay, Rebel, I know where you live. We love Rebel.
But do you now? Do you really?
Come on, stop having so much fun on such a serious show. So that was our experience. And if you ask me, which we get people all the time saying, where's a good, in this case, barbecue restaurant, they would not be a restaurant I would tell people to go to. I would not.
I don't think so. I think the one that, like I said, Austin Republic,
Mhm.
and they're closed because they're building the whole restaurant. They
Right.
were the food truck. And then the one that we had on our show that's up in the Palm Beach area, North Palm Beach Gardens off of North Lake. Remember off the railroad track we went?
That we ate at?
Yeah, they were on our show. We did a tasting there. It was incredible. And then they gave us gift certificates to give to our listeners. That was probably maybe 2 years ago.
My God, it must have
Yeah,
been long.
the
I don't
one
even
that
remember it.
Teresa went and there were issues with the.
There's only one barbecue restaurant I remember that Teresa went to.
No,
No.
not the pig. No.
That's another one not to go to if
Uh,
you're in Palm Beach.
That one's not
the
gonna
pig.
last. I don't think that one's gonna be around much. I mean, there's never anybody
There's
there
no more
anymore.
lines there at all.
Not at
Isn't that
all.
amazing?
And it's horrible. That's why. We did.
Oh, you're talking about Nev's.
Yes.
Yes. Nev's was excellent.
Nev's was very good.
Yeah. And we did a tasting at another barbecue restaurant. I think
Rob's.
no,
down in Davie.
in Wellington. Remember the
Oh, that was.
it was pretty
that
bad.
Was awful. That was
And
awful.
what was funny is they're already talking about opening up
Oh,
a second restaurant.
I didn't eat anything, if you recall. I took a bite and the old napkin came out. It was
Oh, that's right.
disgusting. We did try a restaurant that was surprisingly good. It is in Boynton. The only problem is they didn't speak English. They were just saying yes to everything I was saying to them. But it's a family-owned restaurant. It's called Pal Rancho. And the one in Boynton Beach is Pal Rancho 4. So they have 4 restaurants. They are authentic Latin cuisine. There were tons of lights on the outside. So we decided to go in, and there was a table full of firemen. So whenever you see firemen, you have to know it has to be good. We did try this restaurant. We're trying to get them on the show.
We're
But
working on it.
they don't speak English.
Not at all. I mean, it was really, really tough.
It was kind of funny, some of them, but it's called Pal Rancho. They serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I don't know much about Latin food. And they had a very extensive menu. And I was trying to figure out what some of these things are. So I basically just.
They're also in Coral Springs too.
Mhm. They have 4 locations. So I asked her to pick for me. I still don't know what I have because I can't even say it. But she said it was authentic Colombian cuisine.
Yes.
It was delicious.
We were both shocked.
It was delicious. And do you remember how much food we got?
Yeah, the portions were
They
amazing.
were huge. And the restaurant is not that expensive. They're in Coral Springs on Coral Ridge Drive. They're also on West Atlantic in Coral Springs. They're in Pembroke Pines. They're on Pembroke Road, and they're on Congress Avenue in Boynton Beach.
Right.
That place was surprisingly delicious. Kind of like Sushi Song. I was afraid to go in, but you never know what you find behind those doors.
And you know they serve breakfast there too?
I just said that.
Yeah.
I just
Well, I
said
was sitting here looking at the menu. I'm sorry, I didn't.
I said they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
They do a lot of
But I can't say.
refried beans and eggs.
Here's this lomo salteado, tender beef, green plant. I don't know how to say tostone, green plantains, grilled steak sandwich. I don't even know what I had, Steve. She just picked it.
I think I had the churrasco steak.
You did.
You did. And I was shocked because when I go to a Latin restaurant, I usually order the churrasco steak. They do a tripe soup. They do an enchilada. I was really, their menu was so
it was huge.
Extensive.
It was hard to go through the whole menu because they had so much food.
They do a tilapia salad.
Right. They had a lot of chicken menu. I would love to have them on the show, but they did not understand English. I'm hoping that the owner is a little bit better to talk to about. Remember, I asked her if she was the owner, and she said yes.
Yes, because she didn't understand what you were saying.
And then the guy came and said he was the manager, and I said, "Oh, but is she the owner?" No.
You know, the people next to us did, because I heard them order, did a Hawaiian chicken that smelled so good.
It looked
and
good.
I'm sure it had one of your favorites, pineapple on there.
And she got the girl got the, what do you call it when it comes sizzling on the plate? I can't.
Fajitas?
Fajita. She had a fajita. And they serve liquor there too. Remember?
Yes, they had a bar there. They have a full bar there. If you're their location, they're in a huge strip center, but it's way off the street.
You can't miss them though.
But they've got
1,000 million lights.
Yeah, I mean they really stick out from the street.
They're right by the breakfast place. What's the breakfast place called?
IHOP.
IHOP. They're behind the IHOP on Congress. But they do have the other 3 locations in Pembroke Pines and 2 in Coral Springs. And if you're in Broward, I would highly recommend going, Bob, to one of them. I know Bob's probably listening. 5637 Coral Ridge Drive, Coral Springs. They have one at 10603 West Atlantic Boulevard, Coral Springs. And then they have 12305 Pembroke Road, Pembroke Pines. I like I said, if you see firemen sitting there, there were what, 20 of them, and more were coming in later and joining them.
And maybe, you know what's kind of cool is, like, if you want to bring your kids there, they have like hamburgers and fries there. If they don't, because kids would probably never understand some of this. They do a lot of tilapia, a lot of dishes with tilapia. I bet there's this pork and mushroom sauce, Columbia style. They do a carne asada grilled steak, which I think that's what I got. The carne asada.
That's what you got.
And I mean, it was $17, and that's a good price for.
You got the chorizo. I got I can't even remember. It was she told me it was Colombian.
See,
Whatever I got.
That's
was
what
really
happens
good.
when you let them do the ordering for you.
That's okay. It was really good. I have no idea about,
But they do
food.
different kinds of shrimp. I bet you their ceviche is really good. They do a fish ceviche, and it comes in a very large bowl. The portions are amazing. They're really nice. So,
And you got 2 sides with it, which we didn't know. Remember?
Yes.
It made it look like it was just your chorizo steak. And then she goes, "What sides do you want?" And we kind of looked at each other like, what? Or was it 3?
and just
I
so
can't
people know,
remember.
the service was amazing.
It was.
They also, I thought was really funny. So this is a Latin cuisine, and their dessert, one of their desserts is tiramisu,
Yeah.
and they do a mousse chocolate cake.
They had the tres leche. They had that. She was trying to get us to do dessert, but we were full. So, but they do have Spanish dessert too. And a lot of their food was sold out. Some of the food, I heard people next to us were trying to order something, and I guess they were really busy and they sold out.
I was talking to this owner of this new restaurant, and he was telling me that a lot of restaurants that used to be really good, who now is not as good, is because the prices have gone up on everything. So people have been cutting back on their quality. And the song people never cut back on their.
That was our little girl at Duffy's told us that too.
Oh, that's right. She did.
Can you believe our time's almost up? I'm like shocked.
And we didn't even talk about the chili cook-off at all.
Oh.
They used to take up the first 15 minutes of the show. I'm starved now.
But there is a new Mexican restaurant opening on Dixie that you talked to, and we're trying to get them on the show too.
Oh yeah, their grand opening is this month.
So there's a couple, and then we are going to do the Sushi Song, the new Latin restaurant.
Yes, first week in April.
So, but we did kind of want to talk about this Pal Rancho because it was really good. And I was pleasantly surprised. I told Steve I was a little nervous to go in there and eat. I was afraid, I'll be honest. And then when I saw those guys sitting at the table, I was like, it can't be that bad. And it was delicious. And then I looked them up, and there's 4 restaurants. So for them to have 4 restaurants, they're doing something right.
Well, we only got a minute left.
Already?
I hope everybody don't get crazy tonight.
Stay safe. No drinking that green beer. I wish I had another leprechaun joke, but.
Well, I'm glad you don't.
Thank you for listening.
Hey, thanks again. Thank you, Rebel. Always a great job. I'll see Rebel in the morning for my morning show. Folks, let us know if you have a restaurant. Our website is www.eatand, you got to spell out and, critiquetvshow.com. Go over there. Please subscribe for free. We love subscribers, and we'll see you next week.
Be safe. See you next week. Thank you for listening. Good night.
You've been listening to the Eat and Critique Show with your hosts, award-winning restaurant critics, Steve-O and Sophia, brought to you by Incontro Italian Cuisine and Steakhouse, located in Coral Springs on the Walk. Be sure to join us again next week as Steve-O and Sophia interview top local restaurant owners and chefs. Steve-O and Sophia are known for their pure honesty when it comes to reviewing local restaurants. See you next week.